You read the title right. So I got rejected from Mediavine. I'm still a part of Mediavine Journey, but I got rejected by the original Mediavine. I had around 50,000, 52,000 sessions, I believe, when I applied. And Mediavine actually did accept me, but it was Google that said that they couldn't display the ads, even though I already have ads on my website. And it's funny because when I first started my website, I was with Google AdSense, and I have a video about that where I talk about being with Google AdSense and possibly wanting to switch back to it because I was making really good money with it and had RPMs around $50, which is insane. I do not hit anywhere near that with Journey, but that's okay. These are lessons that I am taking you through as a beginner blogger, and I just want to help people out. So I'll tell you, it said that my content was not original enough and it was very low quality is what Google said, which I disagree with, but that's okay. I'm going to show you one of the main things that I don't think they liked about it, which this I can completely understand. So I have now disabled 180 posts that I had written, and these ones were all very short blog posts that listed job listings. And as much as they were actually incredibly helpful for people, Google didn't see it that way. And that's okay. To be fair, yes, these are extremely short blog posts, and I was kind of hoping they would just ignore them, but they don't. They need all of your content to be long form. So just remember that when you are creating content for being a blogger, your content needs to be long. It doesn't matter, it just needs to be. So this was an example of these, which if I look at my analytics and I look at my journey income, these were always the top performing posts and would be the ones that got me thousands of views daily, but they didn't like them because they're short. So I get it, and I stopped doing it. And I would also include little TikTok videos on it. I don't know, I thought that would help, but it didn't. So that was my first mistake, is doing really short blog posts that, even though they were helpful for people and some of my audience is actually upset that I don't do them anymore, but I couldn't do that and be accepted to an ad network. So all of these had to be redirected and deleted from my website, which sucked and was a waste of time, honestly. The other things that I want to recommend is to not only, obviously write longer content. All of your content should be over 1,000 words. Should be, I think 1,000 words is pretty good. So for instance, this one here, let's just look and see how long it is, because now I think all of my posts, I think I've gone through and made sure that they're all longer now. This one is 3,808 words. Longer, but these are listicles, which is great. With these things are for inspiration and are doing good on Pinterest for me. So writing longer content is going to help with this. Another thing that is going to be super helpful in getting your content approved is using the word I wherever you can. This is extremely important. I think I have an example here. I was writing a lot of things because I was always told that you should write for the user. You should write content for others, and it should be helpful, which is absolutely correct, except people want personalized information, and Google, especially right now with all of their content updates, wants you to add your personal spin to it, which will be it makes it so that you're adding your unique perspective. So when I'm writing these blog posts now, I say I've created, I focused, I noticed, I began. It's a lot, but you need to make things personal where you can. And also just making sure that your content is set up like this as well, where it's like one sentence or two sentences per paragraph. It helps people to look at things more easily and be able to scan it better. And then you can also highlight by bolding these keywords, and it makes it easier for people to read your blog posts, especially because most people just skim blog posts. They don't actually like read it in depth. Some people do, but for the most part, people want to be able to get the gist of a blog post without going too far into detail. Another thing that I want to recommend is adding videos to your blog post. So every time I post on YouTube, I create a blog post for it, and then I also link to that YouTube page. It's also helpful to have like infographics or helpful things like this with little red arrows. It just helps users to follow things a lot more quickly or clearly. It helps users to follow things more clearly, and it helps to break up the text as well, which keeps things a little bit more engaging as well. So I think that those things help. It also, when I have a YouTube video on it, it makes it so that people stay on my blog post for longer, which helps with ad revenue. So the last thing that I will say is to make your content as helpful as possible. Your content is for other people, but it's with your own unique perspective. Your content needs to be helpful in order for Google to approve it. Your content cannot be superficial. It needs to have your unique experience associated with it. And you just need to make sure that your content is able to help people when they're searching for things. You want to be the thing that ends somebody's search. I think that's like the biggest tip I can give. If your post is ranking and it's ranking well, but people keep leaving it and going back to their original search, your SEO is going to go down because your blog post is not helpful according to Google's rankings. So making sure that the information is as clear as possible and as helpful as possible is going to help. Also, just like some general SEO housekeeping rules. Make sure that your site is loading fast. I just installed WP Rocket on my website to make sure it's even faster because I have so many images on it. I also use my image compressor. What's it called again? I totally forgot. Short Pixel. I'll have a link for that down below. It helps to compress all of your images into WebP images, which are super light and keeps your website loading fast. These things help with SEO as well because people are more likely to stay on your website when it's loading fast and it's helpful. So that is everything I have for today. I just wanted to show you guys that you can get rejected and start improving your content and apply again. So I'm going to wait a couple months before I apply for that specifically because I have some other things that I want to work on in the meantime. At least I'm still making money from ads and affiliates. But I know that there are some other bloggers who also got rejected from Mediavine. It's not completely discouraging to be rejected, but it's just a chance to improve your content and then you can always reapply. So I hope this video is helpful because you can get rejected and then keep going. So thank you so much, and make sure you subscribe to my channel because I am going to be posting my Pinterest strategy next, and I will be continuing to post videos on blogging.